Love it, love it. Hope
You're
everybody's
on.
doing well. If you've got questions as we go, Jen's going to be watching them, so feel free to throw them up. Tactic 6 is all about catching people in your web, right? Internet lead conversion. Now, I will preface all of this with the following statement. If there is one section of this book that has what I would argue the right mentality, but perhaps dated tactics, it would be this section right here. And that's true of just about any book that comes out about technology, right? If you read any book about technology that's 10 years old or 20 years old, to some extent it's going to be outdated. But what I love about this is the mindset is right. And Gary sets the right tone with the very first quote. You can't expect to meet the challenges of today with yesterday's tools and expect to be in business tomorrow. Can't meet the challenges today with yesterday's tools and expect to be in business tomorrow. We've got to be thinking forward about where this stuff is going. So again, a lot of the content of this particular tactic really speaks to, your main website, squeeze pages that then lead to a bunch of stuff's moving around on my screen, but we'll just keep going. That leads to, a main website, because that was, 10, 12 years ago, that was our main billboard and capture, right? That's where we were capturing. Today, so much of it really is based on our social media presence, apps, our app that we use in Command, and some of the other tools. So I want you to keep in mind that if you're reading this section at home, understand that the concept is there, that we need to be casting a broad net to capture leads, and that leads at this time are gold. And that's kind of a rehash of what we talked about the last couple of days. And we want to put it through the filter of technology. We want to put it through the filter of technology. So think about the following. Message and method. Message and method. I think more than ever, our message has to be very sensitive to our current environment, okay? And it has to come from a genuine place. I don't want to sit here on this call and spend 29 and a half minutes coming up with some manufactured frickin' message. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about genuinely in your heart. How are you going to serve the people that you know? My favorite reference to this is, and just do me a favor, if you experience this, if you have an auto mechanic right now that you really trust, just raise your hand so people can see. You've got an auto mechanic that, man, if something went wrong with your vehicle, you really trust, like, they're not going to take advantage of you. They're going to steer you right. They're going to do the work that needs doing, right? Many of you raised your hand. Now, nod for me if that feels good. It feels good to have somebody that's really trusted in that area of your life, because, the difference between a trusted mechanic and somebody you maybe can't trust is now you're questioning that $1,800 expense, which is real money, right? But if I trust the person, I know at my core, dang it. Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to spending $1,800 right now, but I know that I need to, and I know that my mechanic is putting the safety of my family and all of that kind of stuff first. So it's a trusted source. So I want you to keep that in mind, that we get to play that role. We get to play that role for every single person who's in our phone, for every single person who's in Command, for every single person you're friends with on Facebook. You could be that person for them right now. The challenge is, and this is where we must be proactive, is we've got to make sure they understand we're here to help them. So let's reverse a little bit and talk about that message and method, right? Our message right now is we're here to help. A lot of stuff is moving. A lot of stuff is shifting. We need them to know that we're here to help them. If they have questions about real estate, if they have questions about affordability, if they have questions about what's going on in the mortgage market, right? We have either the answers or we will get them the answers. So they need to understand that right now. That's a part of our message. Now, when we speak about our web and we speak about how we're going to convey that, that's where it's very timely, right? So some of you do a great job on Instagram. Some of you doing a great job on Facebook. Some of you you're nailing it on LinkedIn, right? We've got our mobile apps. We've got Lead Accelerator and Command. We've got ways and vehicles to get this message out. I've got people that I coach across New England. They're doing direct mail because direct mail works, right? A personal handwritten note, you know, if I write a personal handwritten note to Amanda, who happens to be right next to me in the screen, hi, Amanda. If I write her a personal handwritten note, do you think she's going to open it? Yes or yes? Do you think it's going to remind her that, hey, Brad's here to help her? Do you think it's going to lead to being top of mind aware that when Amanda has a real estate need, she's going to call me before going on to Zillow or going Googling something? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about setting the stage so that when people have a real estate need, they are coming to us, right? We're top of mind aware. And we need to start with that center of our sphere. And those are people who are already in your phone. Those are people already friends on Facebook. And we've got to check our heart and make sure, especially in the environment that we're in, that we're coming from contribution. You want to build connections with people right now? Make sure they understand how sensitive you are to what's going on and that you care and you want to be there for them. And again, for those of you who raised your hand and said, yes, I have a trusted mechanic, you know, if your mechanic reached out to you today and said, hey, we were, you know, checking our schedules and stuff, like we've been kicking the can on that whole timing belt thing. When are we going to set that? Because the last thing I want is a call from you saying we need a new engine because we kicked the can too far down the road. You know, I got a little availability right now. I could save you 10 or 15% if you want to bring it in over the next couple of weeks. Right? If that's coming from a trusted source, we're really going to value that. If it's coming from somebody who's not a trusted source, it's just going to feel like a sales pitch. Does that make sense? Our job is to make sure that we're connecting with our people at a heart level right now. And one of the things I think we can do to do this, just play this scenario out. And this was from a coaching call this morning. I hope, going back to our first call, that you guys are making that call that says, how are you? Are you okay? How is your family doing? Is there anything we can do to help you right now? I hope you're making those phone calls right now. When those calls turn to real estate, right? When they turn to real estate, let's embrace that. Let's put our real estate hat on and let's engage in that, because that's what we're here for. We're here to professionally serve people in that way. When you know you have delivered value, when you know it, then is a great opportunity to ask for connections to other people. Okay? So they might not have immediate real estate need, but what they probably do is know people that you should know. And I can't stress enough in how important I think it is to make sure that you've delivered value first before asking the question, who do you know that I should know? Or who do you know that would benefit from a conversation like this? I'd love to help friends like you. Yeah. Mackenzie wrote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? Now is such a great opportunity for us to show that. Now, a conversation I had with my office this morning is all of us will have bad days in the days to come. We will. We'll wake up one morning and like, man, I just can't do it today. Ugh. I get it. That's when I want you to have resources around you, people you can call on to help you. You will have a bad day. I get it. A bad day, we want to make sure it doesn't turn into a bad week. Okay? If your heart's not in the right place, I want to challenge you not to make those outbound phone calls and instead call your market center leadership. Every TL in our region is here to help you. Call me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Here you go. There's my number. Boom. Write it down. Write it down, put it in your phone. I'm here to help. Your whole region's here to help. We will help pull you back up, get your head on straight. There's an agent in our office who's on this right now, and we had a great call on Saturday, and I hope that was part of that call, was to, get that person back on their feet and keep moving in action. Here's the other thing I want you to know, just on this mindset piece, because I know we talked mindset day one, but mindset is an ongoing conversation. Is that correct? Yes? Bobblehead? So here's my theme for today. You ready? Right there. Moxie. Moxie. Moxie is force of character, determination, and nerve. If you've got moxie, you have force of character, determination, and nerve. I promise you that the coming months are going to require those things. They are going to require those things. If you attempt to do that unstoppable on your own, you will probably get drained and you will fail. If you surround yourself with people who care about you, love you, and are there to support you, you will be able to deliver that for your people, right? In other words, if your cup's being poured into, you have it to give. If you're not being poured into, you will eventually be drained. Is that making sense? Bobblehead? Awesome. So I want you to find your moxie as we go through this, okay? In terms of capturing people in your web, we want to start with our database, and we want to leverage social media. And I will tell you, right now is the best possible time to get really comfortable with the tools within the Command platform. We have our database piece up and functioning. We have our Spark plans, all customizable. We have the lead accelerator piece, averaging less than $2 per lead. Get those messages out. So what is your message today? I gave you some examples. Of message. I'd love to have some people hop off of mute or throw it up in the comments to say, what is the message you're trying to convey to people today? Let's hear some.
And I also have a question from Luke. Any advice for an agent who is new to the area with a fairly small database that wants to have these conversations but doesn't have many numbers to call?
God bless you, Luke. Man, you sound like Brad Knowles from 15 years ago. I got licensed in real estate in the same month that I moved to a new area, in the same month that Keller Williams opened in that area. So it was Keller who and who the hell are you? And I don't even know what I'm doing. The best advice I can give you is this: start with business owners. Start with business owners. First off, right now they're struggling, Luke, right? So if you can start by reaching out to business owners and just asking this question: hey, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, what's an ideal referral look like for you? As a real estate professional, I'm in touch with people all the time. They have all sorts of needs, variety of scope of those needs. I'd love to get you in touch with the people who have the best possible referrals for you. Now, do you think if I do that to a business owner, more often than not, that business owner is going to ask me, what's the ideal referral for me? Probably. It happens. Doesn't happen every time, but it happens. And when it happens, you say, great. Actually, yeah, right now, probably a saleable listing is what is the most, the most saleable thing for us, or the best referral for us. Somebody who really needs to sell right now, not thinking about selling, not playing with the idea, not thinking about testing the waters. Somebody that for whatever reason really needs to sell right now. Those are people that we can service virtually really easily. So no matter how things shift, we're going to be able to support them. And we're going to be able to get that home sold. So, but start by asking about them, their business, get to learn their business. And here's the other thing: the seasoned pros on here are going to tell you this, Luke. The better connect you are as a real estate agent with local professionals, the better agent you will be. Half the issues your clients are going to have is, man, I need a good plumber. You know, I need a cabinet guy. I need somebody to come check out my septic system, right? When you start building those relationships with people and start feeding those leads to those businesses, it will reciprocate back to you. Okay. My life was exactly your life when I got going, had never sold anything. In our first full year in real estate, we did 40 transactions. And that's exactly what we did. We reached out to business owners. And here's the other secret. Shh, this is only for Luke. Everybody else stop listening. Business owners publish their contact information. I don't have to try to find them. They're actively helping me find them. And they're open Monday through Friday. So I can go visit them when we're allowed to do that. I can call them and check in on them, right? It immediately became a structure that helped me as an agent be more structured. If the majority of my database are people who work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, guess how Brad gets to work now? 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, which I happen to be a huge fan of. Mm-hmm. So I had less weekend work because so much of my database was business owners. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Awesome. Talk to me about your message. Give me a couple of examples.
Hi, this is Fiona from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Hi, Fiona.
One of the things I've been doing is, besides posting on Facebook that I'm still working through Zoom and everything, so if anybody wants to talk to anybody, call me. I've been reaching out to everybody on my database on my phone and calling them and just checking in and saying, hey, how are you doing? Are you homebound? Are you still working? How is this affecting you? Is there anything I can do for you? Do you have everything you need? You know, if you need me to run to the groceries, I can even help you to deliver a grocery if you have an elderly neighbor or whatever. And just offering my help and then letting them know that I'm still in business and I'm still working and I'm doing as much as I can from home.
Love it. And when you ask those questions, Fiona, do you find that people are asking, how are you in return?
Yes, people are.
Yes.
People are definitely asking me how I am and how I'm doing. And I always answer with, I'm fantastic. And then they're like, oh, I need to know what you're reading or how you're getting that mindset, you know, because a lot of people are nervous and anxious. And when they hear me say I'm fantastic, they're like, okay, what are you doing? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I find think about this in terms of a capturing in our web. Okay. And this is something that you can take this and run with this for as long as you're in business or whatever you do in life. When two people meet, the person with the most passion about the topic at hand is typically the person who's going to get what they want. If you are showing up passionately engaged, you will attract people to you. And that's what I mean of, hey, if you woke up this morning going, frig it, I can't do it today, right? Then let's fix that first before we start trying to get in conversation with people, right? Because you got to show up excited. You got to show up passionate, right? And if you really are in a place to serve other people, if that's really what we're doing in this business is to serve others, and you got a fire for that, right? It becomes hard to extinguish that fire. So whether you're Luke and you're brand new and you're new to an area and all that kind of stuff, or if you're a seasoned pro, we got to rekindle that passion right now. And people got to feel it, right? They're going to want the hope. Let me share, maybe I already shared this before, but if I did, play along like I didn't, okay? Play along like you're interested. I appreciate it. When I went from being a real estate agent to being a team leader, I needed to refer a big chunk of business because I had a bunch of listings. I had 20, 30 some odd listings when I accepted the team leader role, and I needed to refer those. And so I referred an entire subdivision to somebody who was a good friend and really skilled at new construction. And he took that, and and it was a great client. My client's name was Dale. And about 90 days after that referral, Dale called me to let me know that he had to pull all of his listings from that agent who I'd referred it to. Now that was a lot of referral money sitting there. There was just the referral fees alone were going to be about $20,000. Now, keep in mind, this was 2009. What was going on in 2009 in real estate? Anybody? Yeah. Wah. Yeah, not good, not good. So Dale calls me up, says, hey, you know, I got to pull it from him. This isn't working. Da, da, da. I'm like, what the hell happened? Because I knew like nobody had more knowledge than this guy. He said, Brad, every time I talk to him, I hang up more depressed than what I was when I called him. And I didn't realize that a big reason people were working with me at that time, as we were going through that, was because I gave them freaking hope. We've got to be delivering that right now. Okay? This is going to get worse before this gets better. I promise you. I cannot tell you exactly what it's going to look like. I can't tell you how long it's going to be, but I know it will get worse before it gets better. We need to deliver hope. We need to deliver passion to people. And when we do, we will attract them. We will bring them in, right? That is the skill we got to make sure we're doing today to earn tomorrow's business. Does that make sense?
Brad, can I also share the item of value that I've been sharing today?
Yes.
So I found out that one of the Worcester gyms has free workout videos that are posted online. So today on Facebook, I said, if anybody wants something to do from home today, here's some free workout videos that you can do from home to get your energy up, get your endorphins flowing. And I posted that and I said, and by the way, if anybody has any real estate questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I put my information out there.
Yes, I love it. And Luke, that's that exact thing that I'm talking about. If I'm in conversation with that gym owner, then boom, I can be sharing that stuff. I'm going to tag them in the share. They see that, bam, I've become this advocate for their business, right? Now do that times 100. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of, right? That's the kind of footwork we need to be doing right now. Jen, have I missed any questions here along the way?
No, a lot of it is they're talking to each other as far as giving
Right.
some advice and such. I see
Right.
that one is, can you share the SBA connection? That's a question on here, but a lot of it is scripts and stuff, which I love. So everybody keep an eye on this chat section. Some really gold in there.
Yeah.
Brad, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Homekeeper used to be attached to our former Keller Williams app, and then it wasn't. Do you know if it's back?
I do not know. I have gotten that question before. And I know also some of the hiccups with the app right now are also specific to MLSs. Each MLS has its own little bit of fuzziness going on. Massachusetts agents, have they fixed our one photo issue, or is that still an issue? Still an issue. Yeah. So what I do know is everybody's in the background working fast and furious on it. If there's a particular piece of technology that isn't working right now, here's the challenge I have for you. Don't then throw up your hands, get back into your pajamas and cover your head for a month, okay? There are definitely things that we cannot do right now. I don't want you to focus on the things we cannot do. And Kelly, you know I'm not saying that that's what you were saying. I just want all of us to hear there are going to be things that we can't execute on right now. So many of the people I coach use client appreciation events as not only key connecting points, but also reasons to call everybody. So that's like a 1-2 punch. Like their reason to call is gone, their connecting point is gone, like all of that. And it's like, okay, yeah, we can't do that right now. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And that to me is the question we've got to ask ourselves. What am I going to do today? What are the actions that I can take today, right? And am I in a place where I'm able to take them? If not, who should I be calling to get my head screwed on right so I can get into action? Does that make sense? Who else?
Hey,
Lay 'em
Brad.
on me. Yes.
Brad,
Hey, I know
we had
you.
a team. Yeah, we had a team today that did a Zoom informational meeting online on Facebook for their clients.
Love it. Love it. The great Kathy Manchester, everybody. OP up in Portland, Maine. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason we're not doing buyer seminars right now, seller seminars right now, investor seminars right now. I mean, I am I am working very hard to stay in touch with the different industries that we touch base with, right? Mortgage industry, appraisal, this, that, and the other thing. You know, if we're having a hard time staying educated on what's going on with those, I guarantee you, your clients are not staying on top of it, right? You know, the mortgage, what's going to happen in mortgage here in the coming weeks is things are going to tighten up. That's the best guess I can give you. You know, what somebody qualified for with a 640 credit score a month ago is probably going to take a 680 tomorrow. What it also means is that the lending is probably going to become more expensive. It's not that the 640 can't qualify. It's now they're going to get a higher interest rate because the risk is higher now. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we've got the first-time home buyer group is going to be a little bit more challenged to get into the home market. Do you think that's going to have an upward pressure on pricing or a downward pressure on pricing in terms of home? Odds are, right? Now, can we say that with complete confidence? No, but you know, it's pretty good bet, right? Yeah, somebody threw up secondary market stop buyer FHA loans with scores under 640 today, killing a lot of deals today. Exactly. Here we are, right? This is where we are. Great. So what are we going to do? We're going to cry about it, right? We're going to cry in my Cheerios? No, we're going to get after it. So just understand that that's something that we can do to educate our sellers right now. If I'm representing a seller right now, we've got an offer on the table that's getting a little shaky, I am calling my seller and saying, I promise you this is going to be the best deal we get. If they're asking for a new furnace, put in the damn new furnace. Because guess what happens tomorrow? Tomorrow we have no deal and we still have a furnace to fix. Okay? So, I mean, this is the kind of thing that we've got to stay on top of for our people and just have them be educated, right? And yes, and it's a moving target, right? The information that we get today may not be what's happening 3 days from now. So we've got to stay on top of it. What a great resource you could have, right? Luke, I'm just going to keep pointing at you. All call because you get the best headphones of everybody. I mean, that's just reality of it. Yeah. Luke's got a strong relationship with a lender. He puts out to his database, say, hey, a lot of stuff's changing in the finance world right now. You know, people were refining a month ago. People have questions about whether they can buy right now, invest right now, you name it. Hop onto this live Facebook or Zoom or whatever. You're going to put that out. You're going to market that through social media. You're going to market that through email drip. You're going to market that maybe as a text blast, right? And then you're going to sit on there for 15 or 20 minutes, have the conversation with the lender, open it up for questions just like we're doing here. Let that play out, move on. Talk about coming from contribution and value, not only to the lender, but also to everybody in your database. It frames you as the expert. It frames you as the expert, right? The source to the source. Jen, what did we miss? How did we do? We got like a minute left.
Right. So there's so many comments in our chat today. For some reason, my scroll's not working, so I can't even go down. Yet what I'm going to say is this is being recorded. So yep. Please take a look at it. We are posting it out on all of our resources we can and emailing it out. I got a question on that. Yes, we will be emailing this out to the region or your leadership at least to get you the recordings. And please look at your emails for the link because they do change sometimes for our Shift Mastermind. Some people had a hard time on Friday getting on. It was because it was a new link. Tomorrow will be a new link as well. So anything else, Brad, that you want to finish up on?
Much like the airline metaphor of you got to put your mask on first before you can help somebody else with their mask. You've got to watch your mental health, your energy, your physical health as we go through this. That has to be priority one if you're going to wake up and help your family, your spouses, your community, your clients, right? You've got to start there. So make sure you're watching your energy plan, right? And the other thing I would say is mentally start preparing yourself that the physical adjustments that we have to make right now could be for several more months. And the reason I think that's important is start looking at your environment, your physical space, and make sure it's supportive of you working in that environment for several months to the best of your ability. We'd all set ourselves up one way if we knew it was only going to be a couple weeks. But if you knew it was going to be several months, you might make some other adjustments. You might take the time to paint a wall just to cheer you up, or move some stuff out of there so you've got a little more elbow room. I encourage you to do that. And moxie, force of character, determination, and nerve. Find it, keep it, and share it with others. Go get them, everybody.
Job. Awesome job, Brad. We'll see you guys
Thank you,
tomorrow,
Brad.
Tuesday, for tactic number 7. Mary Beth will be teaching
The
us
best.
tactic 7 tomorrow. We will see you then.
Don't miss
11:30.
it.
Bye-bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm wondering what that noise is. It's